UFC bonuses could be heading for a permanent increase in 2026. Despite Dana White previously blasting the idea of raising bonuses under pressure, the landscape may be changing. Following news that the UFC signed a massive $7.7 billion broadcasting deal with Paramount, Dana hinted that some of that money could trickle down to the fighters, with permanent post-fight bonus increases now being discussed for the future. Just months ago, Dana was openly frustrated after being pushed into doubling the standard $50,000 bonus to $100,000 for UFC 304 following public pressure from Bobby Green. What happened next only reinforced his skepticism. The event delivered just 5 finishes across 14 fights, producing a flat and forgettable night of action. The result left White furious, convinced that higher bonuses did nothing to change fighter performance or urgency. He walked away from the event promising himself he would never again be pressured into raising bonuses on the spot. However, the new Paramount deal has reopened the conversation. While the boss is still against impulsive or reactionary bonus hikes, the massive size of the new media rights deal has opened the door for structured long-term increases that actually make sense.
You know, the low-hanging fruit that's easy to answer, bonuses are obviously going up. So, you know, that'll be big. And forget about the tide rising with all the other fighters. I mean, just the number that the bonuses bring to a fighter is, you know, that's millions of dollars.
With those numbers, you know, 6.1 million viewers and 8.8 peaking million viewers peaked. Like, are there fighters on the roster right now, excluding Conor McGregor, John Jones, that can bring that amount of eyeballs to CBS?
Well, like he and I were just talking about, it's, you know, the barrier to entry isn't $80 anymore. It's $12.99. So, yeah, I think that alone brings in more eyeballs.
The build-up to the interim lightweight title fight at UFC 324 between Paddy Pimblett and Justin Gaethje has been unusually calm. Instead of heavy trash talk, the tone has been largely respectful, especially from Pimblett, who has consistently acknowledged Justin as a proven veteran and avoided personal shots. That respect has not dulled Pimblett's confidence. He has been clear that he plans to pressure Justin, believes his style will overwhelm him, and has openly predicted a finish, even suggesting a knockout. The approach reflects a mix of admiration for Justin's career and belief that this fight marks his own arrival at the top level. The highlight himself has kept things even more professional. Recent interviews have focused almost entirely on training and preparation, with little attention paid to Paddy beyond acknowledging the matchup. He has promised fans that his wrestling has improved so much that he might land a takedown of his own against Paddy. The interim title exists because undisputed lightweight champion Ilia Topuria is on an indefinite hiatus for family reasons. The winner is expected to unify with Topuria upon his return, but if the absence drags on or leads to a vacated belt, the interim could become undisputed. In that scenario, Arman Tsarukyan, widely viewed as the top contender, would finally earn his long-awaited title shot against the winner. DC broke down the current situation at lightweight. Let's dive in.
I think that Arman Tsarukyan is doing everything he needs to do to stay active. Listen, man, this guy might just be the best lightweight in the world. Since Islam's gone, he's really good, man. He's big, he's strong, he's physical. The champion, Ilia Topuria, is tremendous. I think Ilia and Arman are the 2 best guys in the world. I think they need a fight at some point because I think Paddy Pimblett is awesome. Justin Gaethje is awesome. Arman and Ilia seem to have something. And not only something in terms of skill, but between the two that we could build a great fight around, right? So, yeah, I think Arman's fantastic, though, man. He's good. He looked great against Dan Hooker, too.
The tension between Ilia Topuria and Islam Makhachev has officially boiled over. What started as light trash talk has spiraled into a real feud, and every new exchange seems to crank the hostility up another level. It all kicked off when El Matador claimed Islam moved to welterweight because he was scared of Topuria. Ilia then doubled down, saying he would beat Makhachev, and even taking it as far as suggesting he would handle him in a street fight. That instantly caught Islam's attention. Islam fired back, telling the Georgian champ to focus on defending his lightweight belt before bringing his name into the conversation. Just a few days later, El Matador made headlines by claiming he would submit Islam and then step on Khabib's head. The situation only grew more personal. In a recent interview, Islam addressed the ongoing tension and made it clear that Ilia has been talking far too much and hinted that if they ever crossed paths, it might not stay verbal. Islam suggested things could turn physical, without clarifying whether he meant inside the octagon or somewhere else entirely. Then came the latest escalation. Islam's teammate, UFC UFC flyweight Tagir Ulanbekov ran into Topuria in Dubai and confronted him directly. According to Tagir, he demanded Ilia explain the street fight comments and the constant public shots at Islam. In an interview with a Russian channel, Ushataika, Tagir said the following when describing the incident.
Me and the team were in Dubai, so I was just walking with one of my teammates in the city at night. That's when I suddenly ran into him near the mall that's closest to where I stay. It's a big one, so there's always a lot of people there. He wasn't alone also, so I called him by his name and told him, like, come here, let's speak for a moment. When he saw me, he started saying something to whoever he had with him, like warning them about me. And then he started yelling things out to me, so I tried to approach him. But security and a lot of people were there, so nothing could really happen. But I told him I would break his teeth if he sees me one-on-one. He was shouting something too. I don't know, but anyway, that's all that was.
Josh Thomson just broke down a high-stakes middleweight matchup as Reinier de Ridder and Caio Borralho are set to collide at UFC 326 in Las Vegas on March 7th. This is a massive fight for the division, especially with the title picture starting to take shape. Khamzat Chimaev is gearing up for a spring title defense against Nasruddin Imavov, and with that looming, the next wave of contenders is already lining up. Sean Strickland and Fluffy Hernandez are both right there, and it is very likely the winner of that matchup ends up fighting for the belt next. The bigger question is whether Khamzat is even still champion by then. Just weeks ago, he said he wants to move divisions after one title defense and chase champ status. He has floated both light heavyweight and a return to welterweight, claiming he can still make 170. This also depends if Kamaru Usman is able to capture the welterweight belt in 2026, because that would also potentially set up a champ versus champ rematch between Khamzat and Kamaru. Their first fight was a 3-round banger, which left fans wishing for a 5-round rematch. Regardless, a Chimaev double champ opportunity would be massive for the UFC, especially while heading into this new Paramount TV deal. Let's dive into what Josh Thomson had to say about RDR taking on Caio.
To me, that's a great fight. Both guys coming off of a loss. Both guys were like very highly touted. They were talking about just chipping into that top 3, top 4, ranking system. I think RDR was ranked number 4, whatever, when he lost just recently to Brendan Allen. This to me is a great fight. I think Caio Borralho he's good on the feet. He's not so bad on the ground. He doesn't have to worry about, I think, the overwhelming wrestling ability of RDR, because we saw that RDR's wrestling is not fantastic, but his clinch work is definitely something to deal with. And it's in March. Both guys have enough time to take off. Both guys have enough time to prepare, get ready for their weight cuts. Both guys seem to be very big for the weight. And so I look at RDR and I think to myself, when I look back at his record, I actually looked at his record this morning, and I realized that he was fighting 4 times in just that 1 year. That's impressive for someone who has to cut weight that much. But there's no better way to perform, basically, and consistently get better unless you're inside that cage.
That's it from MMA Psycho. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for daily MMA news.